It's Enjoy English School!
Yay!
All right, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
Today is day 2 of our 2-day article on Welcome to Night Vale.
那我们今天11月2号呢，在第10跟11页，我们要接续昨天讲的这个欢迎来到夜谷，然后诡譎而迷人的沙漠小镇。
That's right. Yesterday we talked about what is Welcome to Night Vale. We talked a little bit about the authors, and today we'll learn even more.
那昨天讲了跟作者相关的故事啊，我们今天会学到更多。
Now, Halloween is already over, but you know what? At least in my heart, Halloween is my favorite holiday. And if we can celebrate, like in America, we celebrate Christmas for like 3 months. Like people talk about Christmas all the time. But Halloween is the best holiday. So for me, more spooky, more scary makes me more happy.
但是他不喜欢鬼片，然后他现在跟我讲他喜欢 Halloween。好哦。
I love because Halloween can be cute. Right? You can have cute Halloween. It doesn't have to be terrible.
Yeah, I'm always a princess on Halloween.
Me too.
No, wait. Princess?
All right, let's get ready for paragraph 1.
The Strangely Charming World of Night Vale. Welcome to Night Vale proved so popular as a podcast that, in 2015, Fink and Craner published a book set in the same strange world. The book follows 2 women investigating 2 seemingly separate mysteries. Jackie Fierro, 19, runs the local pawn shop and follows her own routine. One day, a curious man in a tan jacket shows up. He gives her a piece of paper with just 2 words on it, King City. The man then disappears. No matter whom Jackie asks, no one else seems to have seen the man. In a town of ghosts, monsters, and angels, this might be the strangest thing yet. Meanwhile, Diane Creighton has her own problem. A teenage son who can change his form at will, sometimes even into animals. What's more, the boy's father has shown up again, looking exactly as he did the day he left several years ago. Jackie's search for the man in the tan jacket and Diane's attempts to find her son's father bring them into each other's lives. It all has one thing in common, King City. But how all the dots in between get connected will keep you guessing until the very end.
All right, let's begin with paragraph 1. And don't forget your pencil, eraser, and highlighter. It's always good to write these things down. Sentence 1 begins, Welcome to Night Vale proved so popular as a podcast that in 2015, Fink and Craner published a book set in the same strange world.
然后这边我们可以看到接续昨天教过的斜体字，代表的是书名、电影名称、外来语。这边我们讲的是 podcast 的名称。欢迎来到夜谷是如此的受欢迎。那芬克跟克雷诺这2个人在2015年出版了背景设在同一个奇异世界的小说。
Now, when we have the word prove here, that's a verb, and the noun is proof. P-R-O-O-F. It's an uncountable noun. That means like zemming, but that's not what we're talking about here. Really, it just means Welcome to Night Vale was so popular. Right? The word was here. It's a good verb, but we don't have to make it really difficult if you don't know what this verb means.
所以 popular 我们在这边是形容词了，像 I am happy 是形容词，所以我们前面其实可以直接用 be 动词就好了。但这边他选择了用了 prove 这个字，那 prove 这个字本来是证明的意思。老师刚刚有特别提到，它的名词是算不可数名词，不能加 s， 但是它的拼法不一样，念法很像，叫做 P-R-O-O-F。
That's right. And in the same sentence, we have the word strange. Yesterday, we talked we had a lot of good adjectives, right? That's right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Odd is a shorter word. It's easier to spell, but for some reason, Taiwanese don't really say it a lot, right? But odd does feel a little different than strange. So write down ODD here. If we say someone is odd, 它不到那么 strange. Strange 你在看到一个 maybe 有人有脑子有问题的 right? That person 你觉得可能很危险的 we'll say is strange. If the person is just a little bit maybe 他们喜欢 maybe 比较不同的 like, I'm not sure even how to say it. Like, they just like things to be a little different. They would be odd.
OK， 所以奇怪的话是可以是很变态的奇怪
Yeah.
可以是那种真的让你觉得毛骨悚然奇怪 但 ODD odd 比较是它就是有点与众不同啦
Yeah.
然后可能与众不同的是一个比较奇怪的那个位置而不是 unique 感觉是好的奇怪
Yeah.
odd 是有点不受欢迎的奇怪
Yeah, they like different things, but they're not like, you don't think they want to kill you. Right?
但我们昨天还有学到另外一个跟奇怪有关的字叫做 unusual
Yeah, unusual, that's also pretty negative. All right, let's continue to our next sentence. The book follows two women investigating two seemingly separate mysteries.
那这一本书呢跟随着两个调查两起看起来好像无关谜团的这个女人
All right, now pay attention, 专心听，这个未来会让你英文更好。Okay, we have the verb separate. We have a adjective separate here. And 它这位 ate. You know the verb eat and ate, right? When we have a verb 动词这位 ate, 那它会发像那个动词一模一样 ate, right? So we can make this a verb and say separate. 但是听 Chris 刚刚说什么 Two seemingly separate mysteries. 我没有说 ate. 为什么 This is an adjective. 当有 adjective 还有 noun 这位 ate, 它发短 I 写下来
adjective 跟
有没有写下来
形容词跟名词发短 I
That's right. Separate. When it's an adjective or a noun, ate 会发 it. Separate 不是 separate. That's a verb.
OK 来我帮大家做个总结啊动词名词形容词这三个最常见当动词的时候是我们最常见的 separate
That's right, because eat is a 动词
因为 ate 是 eat 的过去式嘛
Right.
ate 但是如果你是形容词跟名词是 separate 是 rit 的声音
There you go. Our next sentence says, yeah, good job. Jackie Fierro, 19, runs the local pawn shop and follows her own routine.
那19岁的这个 Jackie 贾基费尔罗经营他当地的当铺而且谨守他自己的一个作息
Yeah, how do you say pawn shop in Chinese?
当铺
当铺, that's right. They always have the dang on it, right? When I was in Taiwan, I was like, why is this? Because I was like learning Chinese. There's a dang. What is the dang? Like, because我在想到就是当什么东西的时候 like 当什么的时候
It's like when?
Yeah. Like when, how, like 什么东西
对，当铺的那个标志不是一个当字吗？ 对外国人来讲 very confusing.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? Some is the whole place.
Yeah.
So that's a pawn shop. And we have the word routine. And you'll see this R-O-U-T. 它是法文来的 And it just means way, W-A-Y. It's the same word as road.
所以 R-O-U-T-I-N-E 很多人会念奇怪的发音哦，我们就不讲了。但是这边记得老师刚刚说它是法文字来的，所以是 routine.
That's right. It means road, it means route, it means route, routine. There's lots of words that use it.
道路方法之类的。那这边当作息。
Let's continue. One day, a curious man in a tan jacket shows up.
那某一天呢，一位 curious 不寻常的人呢，他身穿黄色的外套的这个男生就出现。
Yeah, so when we say 出现, we also could say appear. Let's continue. He gives her a piece of paper with just 2 words on it.
那他给他一张纸，然后上面只有2个字
King City.
国王城，这是3个字。
If someone handed you a piece of paper like King City, you'd be like, what, man?
Sounds weird.
Yeah, it feels mysterious. It feels odd. It feels unusual. I'd be like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, 别人如果给你一张纸，上面写国王城，你的反应是什么
Yeah, you're like, what do you want me to do, right?
Yeah.
So the man then disappears.
哇，更怪的来了，这个男生就随即消失了。
That's right. 我拿出来，你记得我刚说我丢了, right? Take it out, put it in the toilet and flush because I know this is scary.
冲到马桶里去。
That's right. So he disappears. So remember I just said show up means to appear. We have the opposite, disappear. Same word.
所以 appear appear 把 dis 拿掉，它其实就是出现，加了 dis 的字首之后变成消失。
Next sentence says, no matter whom Jackie asks, no one else seems to have seen the man.
那不管呢，甲基问谁哦，其他人似乎都没有看过这个男子。
Now this whom grammar it's an adjective clause. It's hard to say what to do with the word whom today because in the past, your English teacher would be very serious about teaching you whom. And some teachers still do. At our sister magazine, Analytical English, Karen, who's a very good teacher, she says, I don't even teach it anymore.
Oh.
It's one of those things in language that maybe when you students are 50 years old, we won't even really use in everyday English. So pay attention to it. It's not the most important piece of grammar, but it's always about object pronouns. 受词代名词 him, her, us, them. 不是 I, you, he, she, it, we, they 这个助词动词代名词 It's the object pronouns.
那 whom 这个用法，就是其实在我以前小时候学的时候，老师还是很 care.
Yeah.
但是就像老师刚刚讲，我们解析英文的那个 Karen 老师，他也说他几乎已经不教这个用法。那 whom 它其实是一个类似像关系代名词，但它是一个受词的用法。所以如果你今天要讲的句子，你原本把 I, you, we, they, he, she 放进去，它不是 I, you, we, they, he, she， 它是 my， 然后 we, us, his,
them,
her, them
him,
那这些时候它就会用 whom 而不是用 who。但是大家不要担心，因为现在几乎已经不会出现了。连你看我们这么可爱的 Chris 老师都说，在美国也常用吗？
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, that's a really good point. If you go to America and 如果你就是不是 who 就是 whom, everyone will be like, dude, shut up. Stop talking. It feels very formal today.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying that. But I am saying it's a piece of grammar that is changing. So listen to what your teacher wants. Does your teacher really care about this? Yes or no? Karen, like I said, Karen teaches English at Taida. She's a smart person. I tend to ask her questions, and she says she doesn't worry about it. So, but there you go.
所以不要紧张，我们语言就是会与时俱进。那你可以把很多时间分配给你想要学、想要专精的东西。当然，如果你要把 whom 搞清楚，那也很棒哦。
And it's easy to avoid. All right, next sentence. In a town of ghosts, monsters, and angels, this might be the strangest thing yet.
所以呢，在一个鬼魂、怪兽还有天使的这个横行的小镇上，这可能是最奇怪的事情了。
Let's get ready for paragraph 2. Hey everyone, welcome back to Enjoy English School. It's paragraph 2. Remember in paragraph 1, we have Jackie Fierro. She's 19, and a man shows up and gives her a piece of paper that says King City. And he disappears. Then she's like, oh, I'm interested, instead of saying, this is scary. Now we have our second mystery, and let's continue. Meanwhile, Diane Creighton has her own problem. A teenage son who can change his form at will.
那我们刚刚第一段讲了第一个 mystery， 第一个神秘事件，第二个神秘事件出现，他说 meanwhile 同个时间发生哦，在此同时，但克雷顿他得面对自己的一个难题，因为他有一个能够任意改变外形的青春期儿子，而且有时候会变成动物。
Now, you also, you said a really good word here. You said meanwhile. This is like 同样事件. If you look in the dictionary, it might say at the same time. But 这个感觉比较不一样。为什么? When we say at the same time, it feels like two people in the same place. So, Minnie is writing at the same time Chris is talking, right? We're in the same place. If I say meanwhile, we're thinking about at a different place. So, we're talking about English. Meanwhile, 在你们正在的那个地方，你们在做不一样的事情。Maybe you're listening, maybe you're writing, maybe you're daydreaming, right? We don't know because we're not there. So 这个 meanwhile 加长 it's at a different place.
所以老师在这边讲到很好的，我们常会学同义副词，但其实对我们学同义副词意思一样，但是其实对他们来讲，使用时间专注的东西不一样。所以 meanwhile 它要强调的是，两件事情同时发生，但是在不同的地方。但 at the same time 是两件事情同时发生，而且我们两个就在隔壁，你看得到我，我看得到你。
You'll see this if you read like Western superhero comics. You'll see like the bad guy is doing this.
Meanwhile.
But the superhero is doing it. That's right. Meanwhile, they'll only use one word. Meanwhile, and they'll show a whole new place.
老师，那我有个问题。
Yes.
如果我们是视讯课，你看到我看到你，可是我们在不同地方，那要 meanwhile 是 at the same time.
Well, is this like Zoom where I'm talking to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so if this is like Zoom and you and I, 我们在讲对话, that's at the same time.
Oh.
But 这个 meanwhile is like, I don't know what you're doing.
看不到的情况下。
That's right, that's right. So like 漫画，怪人那个坏人在做这个事情，但是我们英雄在这个地方，他在做这边。They don't know what's happening yet.
用漫画这个角度蛮好想的。
That's right. Now, we have two more things. When we say at will, that means when you want to.
Oh.
And change form, we have a noun for this. That's called a shape shifter. You know the word shape, like square, 长方形, and 那个正方形, and
形状
rectangle, circle, 怎么样怎么样. And shift, 如果你那个键盘，你这个要把那个小写大写，这个是 shift, right? Shift means to
改变的意思 ，shift shift.
And sometimes even in animals, our next sentence says, what's more, the boy's father has shown up again, looking exactly as he did the day he left several years ago.
天哪！所以 what's more 更多的是，或我们在这边，因为这个故事是有点急转而下嘛，所以更糟糕的是，男孩的父亲他又出现了，看起来跟他在几年前消失的时候一模一样。
Now, we already talked about the word appear and disappear in paragraph 1. In fact, we have a nice little, it's one of our key words here. We can reuse that word appear for show up again. 这是今天第二次 we can say show up or appear, disappear, and like leave.
所以在这边出现这个字，我们上一段已经看到 show up， 老师有补充可以用 appear。那我们有学过 disappear， 所以现在你应该可以举一反三咯，你也可以用 appear。
Now, the word several is pretty useful. We use it a lot in English, but it doesn't mean 7. If you ask me, actually, let me ask you, when you hear the word several, how many do you think? What number?
就是数个。
数个. I always think like 5 or 4. Like if you said like, give me like a couple, I'm thinking 3, 2, yeah, 2, 3. And then if you say several, I'm thinking 5, maybe 6, but not 7. It looks like the word 7.But it's not 7.
所以像有一些所谓的量词哦，像老师刚刚讲的 couple 就是好几个，其实我们中文都放好几个啦，但是你其实对母语是英文的人来讲，他们内心会有个数字。那例如像你听到 couple， 你可能会觉得2、3个，但你如果听到 several， 你可能想到5、6个。那 several 这个字跟 7 又长得很像，
但是一定不是 7.
但一定不是7个。
All right, let's get ready for our final
So
paragraph
difficult.
Today. English is easy, as Chinese is difficult.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get ready. Paragraph 3. Hey, welcome back to Enjoy English School. It's time for paragraph 3. Let's begin. Jackie's search for the man in the tan jacket and Diane's attempts to find her son's father bring them into each other's lives.
所以第一段跟第二段的这些 mystery， 在第3段的时候，我们把它做一个结合了。贾基追寻穿着黄色大衣的男子，和戴安尝试着寻找他儿子的父亲，让这2个女人就怎么样碰在一起了。
Now we have the verb attempt here. And attempt, we can also say try, but they're not 100% the same. So a lot of times, like 我们玩游戏 or something, we're at 那个 what's 那个六福村 and you're playing a little game. You can say a try, 它是一个可数名词 or we can say an attempt. And sometimes when we make these verbs, they're kind of the same, but we can't always use them interchangeably. 不可以就是随便换一下. So please be careful with the verbs try and attempt here.
所以 attempt 像我们这边 attempt to 它其实就是尝试，所以老师刚才会说它可以用 try 来当做是一个交换的词。当你去玩游戏玩1次玩2次，你也可以说 an attempt a try 没有问题。但是这2个不是永远都可以这样交换，所以要特别注意一下你们现在使用的句子。
Now our next sentence says, it all has one thing in common, King City.
那这一切呢都有个共通点 in common 很重要，可以画底线画下来 in common 共通点。那他们的共通点就是 King City 国王城。
But how all the dots in between get connected will keep you guessing until the very end.
不过呢，一切事件的关联会让你猜测 ，keep you guessing， 直到 the very end 最后一刻。
Hey, I have a question for you. I don't know this. Do you know the little pictures and it's just the number and you have to go 1 to 2 to 3, 4, 5 and you draw like a dinosaur or something?
Yeah.
How do you say that in Chinese?
连连看，
连连看？
数字连连看。
数字连连看。
Yeah.
In English, they're called connect the dot puzzles. Yeah, I've never thought of how to say this. So when we say how all the dots in between get connected, we're thinking of like that, like 一年级的 little connect the dot puzzles. Connect, C-O-N-N-E-C-T, and then dot, just a din, it's D-O-T. Okay? Like when you type a website, you don't say period. Yeah, that's right. You say .com. That's right. When you were a kid, you're a big fan of connect the dot puzzles?
Love it.
I still kind of like them. I'm not going to lie.
And we have like English version for kids to learn like A, B, C to E.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. That's a good idea, right? Yeah. So they should have those for Chinese too. But
I can't even finish bpm until the very last.
Really?
No.
Let me see how was bpm if I remember. Bpm da ta na la ka ka he lemma ding dong. I won't. I just use pinyin because it's easy for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't remember bpm.
已经很厉害了啦。
Let's get ready for vocab review. It's time for vocab review, and our first word today is a verb to investigate.
Investigate 是动词哦，是代表说你要去侦测，然后去调查，我们就用 investigate。
Next, we have a word that's an adjective in our story, but a verb many times. We can say separate or to separate.
动词 separate 就是你知道动词就有一种分开的感觉嘛，对不对？动态的。但是我们这边用形容词的时候是 separate。
Our next word we have is to show up. We can also say to appear.
所以要记得 appear 跟 show 空格 up 都是出现的意思。
That's right. And the opposite is to disappear.
那消失当然就是前面加 dis disappear 消失。
Another useful word is meanwhile.
那另外一个很常见的字，很好用的字叫做 meanwhile， 在此同时，但是是在不同的地方。
That's right. And then we also can say at will, and that means when you want to.
At will 就是当你想要做什么的时候，你可以自己决定。
All right, and that's all the time we have for today, but we'll be back with more Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.